I would like to say hello to everybody. This is my first participation in such great event as a meet.js summit. Let's go further. My name is Grzegorz Koronowski, and I am a senior developer in KMD Poland, which is Polish division of KMD Denmark. Do not hesitate to contact me, mail me, follow me on LinkedIn, invite me on your network, or you can also just send me your CV if you want. And today I would like to share with you some lessons learned in Angular and JavaScript. That was some experience I met in our KMD's project, also in my other side project. So we have 5 quick lessons to share about it, and because we have a tight schedule, so I will just follow. And first lesson is about the thing I called mystery provider. It was a few days ago on our dev stage a crucial bug. We can't go further in development because we had some exception in console log, so our product became unstable, and we couldn't get any further releases, no tests, no basic development, and we just retrieve error like this. So we had some undefined provider somewhere in the code, right? And what is behind that? First of all, basic pattern to initialize anything in Angular, right? We have a controller with some dependencies as arguments and its aliases to avoid any problems with obfuscation and things like that. If you want to use short version, and if you don't want to put so many effort, you can also use the second one pattern. Unless, of course, you know what you are doing, because especially if you are working with non-obfuscated code, it will run also. But in our project, we are using the property inject pattern with modular shape. So as you can see on this example, we are injecting state for our link function to make some logic behind that, and of course in this example we have a controller in line with scope argument, and probably you know that the scope argument is it necessary to be injected because it's allowed in a native syntax. However, this was the blame, and solution for this blame came from our female colleague Agnes. And the reason was, of course, that after obfuscation, the scope from controller first argument was undefined. So we had to change the syntax for external controller and inject necessary dependencies for that. And this was solution for that case. So if you want to decrease your project capacity, or burn some story points or man days, is a good idea to put some unobfuscated variable and get stuck in the code. So, yeah. This was maybe just for a while to highlight this. Okay. The second one lesson I would like to share was a little bit interesting, I guess. It was a basic requirement for that story was to handle this particular moment when the whole ng repeater will be done with all child elements, all HTML blocks, and I wanted to get that precise moment that I will have any kind of ng repeater list, and I will catch the moment when the list will be done, right? So it should run for no matter how shaped ng repeater for independent from inside structure, content length, and time of render. So I started to work on this solution, and I came to a few fail attempts. First of all, I was thinking about using set timeout, but of course we all know that this is not a good idea. because the timeout is strongly unpredictable, unmeasurable. One value is good for one solution, for another could be too long or too short, whatever. So I dropped this idea. Then I came to idea about how about to watch the HTML collection of list. Just to watch, is it, do I have already all necessary elements and so on. But it wasn't a good idea also because, as we all know, HTML collection contains not only the, let's say, HTML elements, but also nodes, text nodes, and things like that. And I also wanted to prevent user watcher to eliminate risk of any digest issues or insufficient solutions. Then I realized that basically I don't want to, and I don't need to watch the whole wrapper that contains a list of repeated elements, because Angular provides such a great API for edge repeater, which is index value first and the last also. So maybe it will be good enough to watch and repeater collection and catch the moment when I have the last one element, because it's almost solved my case, right? Yeah, and I realized that it will be quite enough to just watch the particular and repeater element. So I built the directive in that shape. So on the link function, the solution is providing by the last API value. So when the test will provide a true value, it means that this is the last element of the collection. So the only thing which stays to implement is to wait for the element that will be ready, then to call eval async function, which basically allows us to execute some logic behind that after the whole list will be ready by Angular, especially the last one element will be ready by Angular. All inner functions will be compiled, prelinked, and so on. And then I can execute some block of code. In this example, the logic behind that maybe is not so visible, but I wanted to execute some jQuery queries and transitions, animations, things like that, to whole big list. So that will provide me a scope init function in eval async body. Okay, so far so good. We have a lot of time yet, so I would like to share with you a third one lesson, which is called Phantom of the Opera. And this solution came from me very, very long time ago when I was on early stage of Angular. And it's maybe it's so obvious and for advanced user and well known, but for me it was a great mystery. And the business requirement for that was very simple. We have some basic collection of whatever, right? We want to put it on the view, make some transition, maybe for every single element call some validation rules or some controller helper methods, things like that. So we had a basic collection of whatever, right? And we are executing some transition for element, binding some data, things like that. So failed attempt solution was to provide a basic ng repeater logic with something. And inside this ng repeat, we have a third-party directive for some kind of select field in this example. And we are providing some validation rules and things like that. And this block of code wasn't quite good and made me very confused because it's providing a very erratic behavior for a particular element. it was behave strange. I got some exception of this solution. Basically, it didn't work as well as it should. So the reason for that, as you can imagine, was to wrap the particular element in an ng form tag, which provides us a separated scope. And in this case, in this case, I name it as item sub, and then I was able to provide some validation rules for particular element instead of making logic for the whole collection. So the erratic behavior in validation wasn't relevant anymore, as well as method used from a controller that is binded to a config attribute, which in this solution started to work properly because before it was behave really strange, and I couldn't imagine what's going on because the syntax for me was quite good. So it's good to use a separated scope syntax to prevent any strange behavior, especially when you are using some third parties library directives or some methods from services or controller. Okay, and my favorite lessons from this presentation, lesson number 4, and the logic behind that was very simple. The other days I made some huge application for one of my customer, and I assumed that all navigation rules will be provided not by a href attribute, but on a click callbacks. And it seems that it was a good idea, and I will tell you why for a moment. So the application was released on production. Customer was very impressed, and everything went go. Everything was okay. And I received a business request for changing the navigation logic. So customer wanted to have a common single-page application navigation, right? When everything is done in place in browser, no heavy reload and so on. But he wanted also to have such great feature like open in new tab, right? So I couldn't imagine how to provide the open in new tab feature when I have no hrefs. Navigation in single page made by callbacks, so it was pretty tricky. But the solution was trivial, I guess. So the business goal was to provide two-way of navigation for a user. So as I said, first step of this solution was to provide any navigation rules, not with the href attribute, but with the ng-click callback. So every particular controller response that was responsible for part of HTML provides some click callback. In this example, it's just building a link and sending into a service pipe. So I had a big application, a lot of controllers, but a single point with triggering routing rules for new routing. It was, in this case, in the navigation pipe in some service. Also, I needed to provide this double way of linking. I had to provide some kind of global indicator to determine which should I just pass the link in a normal mode, or should I force it to work in the secondary mode to open a new tab. So I thought that it would be great to use a global variable for a window. So on initial light of my application, I used window variable pointer to determine if should I go a normal way or the secondary. And this is the feature was made by pressing a shift key. So whenever a user press the shift key, it should be redirected to the new tab. In the other way, the navigation should run normal. And the solution for that behave is a simple directive I made, which basically taking the build URL, and if user wants to open it directly in a new tab, it triggering our helper function. And if application should run as in a normal mode, it's just a location path change. And the goal for simulating, let's say, old-fashioned web application was to build some ghost element, set the proper attribute as a ref, trigger click action that will provide opening new tab action, and then close, remove this element from body, from site. So by this short block of code, I provided a very, very strong and robust solution for my customer, and it was very valuable for him because user can go further in the application, make some clicks, open a record, search, and so on, dig into a particular place, and then he or she could switch into a new tab. So it was very, very valuable for him. And the fifth solution I would like to share was a very, very trivial action with the third parties code from basically it was placed on the Xenon theme application, but it's some kind of jQuery extension that is providing a fancy select box that looks like this. So I had a very, very big trouble to combine this control to my application in Angular because I had a strong race condition with data provider. So the problem was that every single time the select box was initialized empty. So no matter if I had a very asynchronous provider for data with some Ajax, or if I had a faster provider with some static data, the select box was always empty. So it was, we can say, also a crucial thing. And the solution for that problem was very trivial. As I said, everything we have to do is init this component in the link body function, and then after or whenever the model passed to our directive will change, we will have to re-init this component and recall the refresh method, which is basically build our select box extension with new data. So I assume that this pattern can be used in another third party's jQuery styled extension because the goal is about idea, right? So on a link we are initializing, and then on model change we are re-initializing. Something very, very trivial, but maybe not so obvious in some particular place. And also, I would like to say a few words about the Danish way of work and to live. As I mentioned on the beginning, we are working in the KMD Poland, which is a Polish division of KMD in Denmark, and I would like to share with you some facts about how it is to work with Danish guys or in Danish company, because it's not so popular in Poland. So 5 quick facts about the Danish companies. First of all, we have a strong work-life balance in the work, and this is not a, work-life balance you can read about on the internet, on some Y generation articles and things like that. It's a really work-life balance. So, if you have a family or not, if you have some private things to do or not, if you have some pets, animals, whatever, right? It's strongly splitted into work and into your private life. So of course, every one of us is going to work for making their things to done. But we are not as slaves of work as it is in many years in Poland, right? Things like that. So this is very important that the Danish guys are really work-life balanced. So, yeah, work is work, life is life. It's not a problem to split it out. The second important thing is a flexibility. You can work from office, you can work from home, from beach, from your girlfriend's home, from wherever you want, until you are providing your things is done and your tickets is done and your job is quite good. So if will turn out that someday you have to stay in home because your child had sick or you broke your leg, whatever, you can stay at home and do your things whatever you want until your work is good. So there's no problem with flexibility at work. And of course, the lunch breaks we have is, first of all, it's a very obvious thing in our work. It's a almost saint element of our work, and this is also a great opportunity for Danish guys to make a bit socialized, to talk about not only about work, but on some private things, childs, wherever. So if you came to Denmark and you will go for a lunch break, you can expect that you will be asked about some private things, families, without offense, of course, but this is a fact. And the most important things, we have 5 weeks of paid vacations. So it's of course understood for guys who are working as a permanent, right, job. But if you are consultant working in business-to-business mode with invoice, you have also 5 weeks of paid vacation. So imagine the fact when you are leaving for your summer vacation for a shore or whatever, and then you are coming to work and you can charge your free time as your paid, as your work time. So it's a great asset for us. Yeah, and Danish guys are really happy and satisfied from their work because of those four previous elements. So this is the reason why the Danish sociality is the happiest nation in the world, I guess. And I would like to invite to meet our place on this venue. Come to work with us, share with us your CVs or concerns about how it is to work in Danish company. And thank you. This is all.
Lesson number 4.
Hi.
Using JavaScript callbacks as providers for location href. What about browser history? Wasn't that an issue then?
Well, in this example, we are using location provider, which is the API from ng router, the native router of not so native, but it's not a state router anyway. And this provider provides the browser history. So whenever you are navigating by changing the location path, right? Your site hash and URL. This provider provides history back, so the history is stored and you can navigate backwards.
But what about links open in a new tab? Does it work?
New tab is a new tab. It's you know,
No
just
history.
yeah, blank new request for, and there's no history back.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Another question? No one? Oh, I see you.
Yeah, hi. I got a question about the same lesson. Why not just use refs in normal links?
Which lesson, sorry?
The same lesson.
Yeah.
Why not just use links in refs like a normal person?
I don't understand. Can you repeat? Why don't
You
use?
used callbacks to open new links, I don't know, to navigate in general. But why not just use refs in your links?
Mostly because I wanted to provide the controller responsible for preparing URLs, logic, and before triggering some logic for some URL request for a navigation pipe, I would like to have a possibility to some transition, execute some other logic, you know, the things like that. So the reason was I don't want to put direct URL in each HTML block template, just to avoid myself to, you know, lose control of this building links and other transitions.
Okay.
Thank you.